Welcome to the Life After Life podcast, where we explore our soul's physical and non-physical journey. I'm Majona. Let's discuss angels, guides, and loved ones from the other side. Hello and welcome back. Well, here's a good question. What do I do if I think there's a spirit in my house, but I don't really see spirits, so I'm not sure, but there's just some weird stuff going on.
You do like we did last night when there was a copperhead in the walking trail, and I don't see copperheads.
Well,
you don't have to go to the bathroom the rest of the hike, that's for sure.
Well, you did see that one just in time, thank goodness. Well, I love this question because, I think it's pretty common. And here's the cool thing. If you just, for whatever reason, you don't have to justify it, whatever reason you think that there might be some spirit in your house that just showed up, well, you can handle that. We're going to assume that this is an earthbound spirit. All right? That's unless you've maybe moved into someplace new and there's an entity or a spirit that's attached to the ground, and that can happen. They are attached to a house or the ground around there, whatever. But even then, if they want to cross over, you can help them. So for the majority of earthbound spirits, this should absolutely help them cross over. Is just, first of all, let them know, hey, I'm pretty sure you're here, and I'm really sorry, but I can't see you. I know some people can, I can't, but I feel you. I'm pretty sure that you're here. Okay, now, if they're not, you're talking to yourself. No big deal, right?
Do it alone.
Or get other people that, talk to themselves.
Listen to this podcast who will come over and sit with you, yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
No worries. So just acknowledge them, because sometimes, that's really huge. Just think if you were being ignored all the time and somebody actually started talking to you, you would be really grateful. So let them know, since you're here, I'm guessing that you probably may not be aware that you've actually died. And if you don't believe me on that, if you're not sure, go to the bathroom and check the mirror. Point to any mirror. Go check yourself out in the mirror, and they won't see a reflection. So you might give them a moment to do that, and then come back and say, okay, I can help you because I listened to this podcast and she told me what to do.
It still just blows my little pea-sized brain that once you step from time to no time, and then there's, like you told the story in one of the early episodes about the guy from the 50s.
Yeah.
That you have this gap that they have, I don't know. It's just like, wow, that somebody would realize that they are not dead.
Right. I know. It is amazing. It is truly amazing. And yet it happens. It happens very, very frequently. So if you just acknowledge that for them, point it out. And here's the cool part that you don't have to listen to them argue with you. And you can remind them, I can't hear you. Just trust me on this. So what you can do is maybe light a white candle, not necessary, but for some reason sometimes that seems to help. And just tell them, okay, look at the flame, come around here. And they have seen you. If they came to you, it's because, so what I'm told is you are developing your psychic ability, your third eye, and they see that energy. So yay you, right? You're developing this. You're working on it. And they see it. So they came to you because you're a beacon of light, actually. So tell them, all right, you probably maybe have heard that when people die, there's a tunnel, and a white light. I guess maybe you died quickly, but you didn't see it. For some reason, you didn't see that. So if you kind of look up and behind you, you should see a white light. It might look very small. It may be way off in the distance, but you should see a light up and behind you. So look for that. And then just think about moving to that light. Just start moving towards that. And yes, it is the white light. And as you get closer, your angels will come and help you. And you know what? If you want your angels to come right now, they will. Just ask them to come. And it's really important that you understand you have total control over this. So if you're apprehensive for whatever reason, that's okay. You can start going to that light, and at any time you can say, no, I'm not doing this. And the vast majority of people that start doing this, as they get closer to the light, just feel that in tremendous love, and it's just unconditional and so powerful that they want to continue.
Do you know what the gap is between the time of their death that they didn't find that light? I mean, is it like the guy from the 50s that you told that early story in one of the early podcasts was a sudden death? He wrecked a car racing, drag racing. You know, that's a right shock. What do you suppose is the gap that they don't find that light after the point of transition?
I think it's if they leave their body really, really quickly. They haven't had that chance to separate. Someone who has a chronic illness or in the dying process, leave their body and come back numerous times.
You know what's happening, right?
Yeah.
Or in the flesh that it's the end.
You do. And I think they have time they practice. They leave their body, and they're also surrounded by other loved ones that have already made their transition, and angels come. So they go on walkabouts. And if you die very quickly, you don't. John Kennedy Jr. did not know he was dead. That's just another example of a really sudden death. And it was actually his wife, Carolyn, was telling him, hey, we're dead. And they argued about it because he wasn't buying into that. And he, even once he did buy into that, she went ahead and crossed over, but he did not. He chose to stay for a while. That's a whole different conversation. Very interesting conversations with him. So that's, I think, to answer your question, it's just a sudden death. It's like being jerked out of their body, and they're still attached to it and focused on that. And maybe, I don't believe they're seeing the reality of what is happening because they have not embraced their death, or they don't realize that they're dead. But maybe they're processing it because it's very, very common for them to want to share that death scene. So maybe that's how they come to terms with it.
Interesting that we, in the non-physical, it's like right now we're recording this, it's graduation season. You go online and you see pictures of your friends' kids graduating, right? It's their happy moment, happy day. What you're talking about is they talk about their death in it's an event in the soul's journey.
Right. And, for us, that's such a big deal. But, in the broad scope, it's not. You've just ceased this one lifetime.
It's a tunnel.
Absolutely. And
tunnel
it's a continuum.
In and a tunnel out.
Yeah. Yep. So tell them to look for the light. They can ask for their angels and remind them. I think a big piece is that they have free will, and they can start to the light, but they can stop at any time, because there are some times that they're apprehensive. Like, I don't know, what if I'm going in, I don't like it, and I decide I don't want to. Okay, then you don't have to. But I have not known of any earthbounds that I've helped cross over that start on that journey and then are like, okay, no, I'm bailing. Once they get going, they're good. They're very good. Now, how will you know? How will you know if they went ahead and crossed over? Really, the only way you're probably going to know is if whatever indicators you had that they were present, well, those indicators no longer exist. It would be the absence of knowing, I guess. And like I said, no harm, no foul. If there was nobody there, that's okay. And you just are getting some practice in for when there is. So a quick recap. If you're feeling like there is an earthbound spirit in your house, just acknowledge them and go ahead and talk to them. And you don't have to do it out loud. You can do it via telepathy. That works just as well. Tell them that you do not see them, but you suspect that they are present and you're willing to help them. You might suggest they look at themselves in the mirror to confirm that they do not have a body. Then ask them to look up and behind them. They should see the light. Start moving to the light and angels will come. They can ask for angels anytime, and they have free will to stop that process at any time. And that should take care of it. And then you just know that they are no longer there because you no longer feel them or sense them. So I hope you find that helpful, and we look forward to seeing you on the next show. We would love to hear from you, Majona at lifeafterliferadio.com. And until next time, namaste.